Did you know that nearly 50% of marriages in the United States end in divorce? That's a staggering number. Even more surprising, research shows that 70% of couples who stay together report feeling unhappy or unfulfilled in their relationships. So, what's really going on? Why do so many people fall out of love? In this video, we'll uncover the hidden reasons love fades. It's not just about infidelity or big fights. Many couples drift apart without even realizing it. We'll explore how small habits and unspoken feelings can slowly erode the bond you once shared. You'll learn practical strategies to keep your love alive and thriving, even as life changes. Get ready to dive into the surprising truths about relationships and discover how to reignite that spark. Whether you're in a long-term relationship or just starting out, the insights in this video will help you build a stronger, happier connection. Stay tuned, because love is a journey worth taking, and we're here to help you navigate it. Chapter 1: The Hidden Drift. Why we slowly disconnect. Have you ever noticed how relationships don't usually end in one big, dramatic moment? Instead, love often fades quietly, like a distant echo. The reality is, emotional distance builds over time, and most couples don't even see it coming. According to research by Dr. John Gottman, renowned for his work on marital stability, it's the small, everyday interactions that matter most. Over time, things like forgetting to check in on each other's feelings or brushing off conversations about emotional needs can create gaps that grow larger. What starts as a tiny crack in the foundation can become a deep divide if left unchecked. A key strategy to avoid this drift is practicing what Gottman calls bids for connection. These are small gestures, like asking about your partner's day or giving them a hug when they're stressed. Responding positively to these bids is crucial. In fact, couples who do this 86% of the time stay together, compared to couples who only do it 33% of the time. That's a big difference for such a small effort. Another way to combat drifting apart is setting intentional time for each other. Weekly date nights may sound cliché, but they work. Studies show couples who have regular date nights are 2.5 times more likely to report being happy in their relationships. It's all about staying emotionally connected and engaged. Small acts of kindness and attention go a long way in keeping that connection alive. Chapter 2: The Illusion of Perfect Love. Why unrealistic expectations ruin it. Many people enter relationships with an idealized version of love. You see it in movies and social media: perfect couples who never fight, always in love. But real life isn't that picture perfect. According to therapist Esther Perel, one of the biggest reasons people fall out of love is because of the unrealistic expectations they set for what love should feel like. We've been conditioned to think that love means constant happiness and passion. When that fades, we start to question whether we're in the right relationship. A good strategy here is to embrace the idea that relationships go through seasons. Not every day will be passionate or perfect, and that's okay. Instead of focusing on what's missing, focus on what's working. Practicing gratitude for the positive aspects of your relationship can make a huge difference. One study found that couples who regularly express gratitude toward one another were more satisfied in their relationships over time. Another important point is to normalize the idea that conflict is not the enemy of love. In fact, healthy conflict can strengthen your bond. Dr. John Gottman's research found that how couples argue is more important than the fact that they argue. The key is to argue with respect and focus on resolving the issue, not attacking the person. So, the next time you and your partner have a disagreement, remember that it's normal. It's all part of being in a real, not perfect, relationship. Chapter 3: The Communication Chasm. Misunderstanding versus mistrust. When love starts to fade, communication often breaks down first. But it's not just about the words we say, it's about what's left unsaid. According to a study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family, 67% of relationships fail due to poor communication. Many couples think they're arguing about surface-level issues, like chores or money, but the real problem is often a deeper emotional disconnect. One of the most effective strategies to close this communication gap is to listen with the intent to understand, not to respond. This sounds simple, but it's harder than it seems. Many of us are guilty of waiting for our turn to speak, rather than really hearing what our partner is trying to say. Practicing active listening, nodding, asking clarifying questions, and summarizing what your partner says can drastically improve communication. Another helpful technique is I statements instead of you statements. For example, saying, "I feel hurt when you don't acknowledge my efforts," is much less likely to provoke a defensive reaction than saying, "You never appreciate anything I do." This small change in language can prevent misunderstandings and mistrust from growing. Lastly, don't let issues pile up. When small problems go unaddressed, they can snowball into bigger conflicts. Set aside time each week for open, honest conversations. You don't have to tackle every problem at once, but checking in regularly can prevent resentment from building up. As psychologist and author Harville Hendrix said, conflicts are the results of unmet needs. Addressing those needs early on keeps your communication healthy and strong. If you're finding value in these insights, don't forget to subscribe. Join us as we explore even more ways to nurture your relationships and keep love alive. Chapter 4: The Comfort Trap: How Routine Can Destroy Intimacy. One of the most common reasons people fall out of love is comfort. It sounds counterintuitive, but when we get too comfortable in a relationship, we stop trying. Routine takes over, and the excitement fades. Dr. Terry Orbuch, a relationship expert and author of 5 Simple Steps to Take Your Marriage from Good to Great, found that boredom is a silent killer in long-term relationships. Her research shows that couples who feel stuck in a rut are much more likely to experience a decline in satisfaction. So, how do you avoid this comfort trap? One of the best strategies is to actively seek new experiences together. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, couples who engage in novel and exciting activities report higher levels of relationship satisfaction. Whether it's trying a new hobby, exploring a new city, or simply switching up your daily routines, stepping out of your comfort zone can reignite the spark. Another strategy is to bring back spontaneity in small ways. Surprise your partner with a random note, an unexpected outing, or even a simple change in routine like cooking together on a weeknight. These little moments break the monotony and remind you both that love doesn't have to be predictable. As psychologist Dr. Arthur Aaron said, doing new things together reminds couples why they fell in love in the first place. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of physical affection. When life gets busy, couples often forget to prioritize touch. A study from the University of Toronto found that couples who regularly engage in physical touch report feeling more connected and satisfied in their relationships. So, make an effort to hold hands, give a hug, or just sit close on the couch. It's those small gestures that keep intimacy alive, even when life feels routine. Chapter 5: Emotional Baggage: Carrying the Weight of Past Loves. Everyone comes into a relationship with some emotional baggage. Maybe it's from past relationships or childhood experiences, but unresolved issues can weigh down even the strongest of couples. According to Dr. Sue Johnson, the creator of emotionally focused therapy, EFT, past emotional wounds can resurface in current relationships, causing people to react defensively or withdraw emotionally. A key strategy to deal with emotional baggage is acknowledging it. It might sound simple, but many people avoid confronting their past because it's painful. However, talking about your fears, insecurities, or past heartbreaks can help you and your partner understand each other better. Johnson's research shows that couples who openly discuss their emotional triggers are more likely to develop a secure bond. Another approach is practicing self-awareness. Understanding how your past affects your current behavior is crucial. For example, if you've been cheated on before, you might have trust issues in a new relationship, even if your current partner has done nothing wrong. Recognizing these patterns can help you avoid projecting past hurts onto your partner. Lastly, consider seeking professional help if the emotional baggage feels too heavy. Therapy isn't just for people in crisis, it's a powerful tool for self-discovery and healing. A study published in the Journal of Counseling Psychology found that couples who seek therapy to work through individual issues often experience improved relationship satisfaction and emotional closeness. Remember, dealing with your past doesn't just help you, it strengthens your bond with your partner too. Chapter 6: Growing Apart, Not Together, The Silent Evolution. People change. It's inevitable. But when partners grow in different directions, love can start to fade. According to a study from Stanford University, couples who experience significant changes in values, goals, or interests are more likely to drift apart over time. This silent evolution can be one of the most difficult challenges in a long-term relationship. One of the best ways to grow together is to set shared goals. Whether it's planning a trip, working on a project, or even tackling a fitness challenge together, having a common purpose keeps you aligned. A study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples with shared goals reported higher levels of happiness and relationship stability. Working towards something together gives you both a sense of partnership and connection. It's also important to stay curious about your partner. As people evolve, so do their dreams and desires. Regularly check in with your partner about their goals and interests. Ask open-ended questions like, "What's something you've been wanting to do lately?" Or "How do you feel about where we are right now?" These conversations help you stay connected to who they are becoming, not just who they used to be. Finally, embrace personal growth for yourself too. Sometimes, couples fear that focusing on their own development might pull them away from the relationship, but the opposite is often true. When both partners are growing individually, they bring more to the relationship. As Esther Perel says in her book Mating in Captivity, the happiest couples are those who see their partner as both their adventure and their home. Personal growth can make your relationship stronger if you share your journey with each other. If you've enjoyed these insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join us as we continue to explore ways to cultivate love, build lasting connections, and enrich your relationships. Love is a journey worth taking, and together, we can navigate it.